Alright, I've matted my pages. Oops, this is not what I want. Okay, here you are. Each of my individual pages has been matted with the inserts, and I'm happy with the way so far that it's turned out. What's this? I hope you're happy with yours. I have glitter everywhere, but here it is. Page 2, page 3, and I put the glitter on the inside on most of them, but they do match. I decided to make mine matching. You don't have to. My other ones didn't. But anyway, I like the look, and I did something a little different with my punch, and we'll see if I can find one that'll demonstrate. If you will remember, I did the decorative punch on the craft cardstock. Can you see the decorative punch? Well, it didn't work to do a decorative punch then on the matting. It didn't match up. So what I did instead, on the corners of the matting, I took a 1-inch circle punch and put the corner right to that arrow there, and I made a half circle so that the decorative punch only shows on the craft cardstock, and then it is just a half circle punch on the matting, and then I rounded the corners on the middle. So, and I did, you know, as I mentioned, I did go ahead and distress all of the inserts. So that's what I did with that, just to show off the decorative punch. I didn't think about that when I went to do that, but it just didn't match up and didn't look good. Okay, so we are ready to start our spine. And I hope you got some Tyvek. If you did not, it's not a disaster. See, these envelopes are big, and I'm doing half of a side will do this whole book. But if you don't have Tyvek, just use another piece of your craft cardstock, the one that you did the basic pages with, and cut your first. To do the binding, you need a piece of either Tyvek or another piece of the craft cardstock cut at 6 1/4 lengthwise, 4 1/2 across. And that is your measurement, 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. Either the Tyvek or another piece of the craft cardstock. And this is going to go right here across this hinge system loosely. That's why we've got the tape right here. And I'll show you what we're going to do. You're going to loosely put it across, and that will help hold your book together. So, for the time being, after you cut this piece, 6 1/4 by 4 1/2, whatever, cardstock or whatever, then you need to put quite a bit of adhesive on it. And I'm doing the Tyvek, so I'm going to put it first around all 4 edges. Ooh, what was that? I don't know. I think we're going to start at the front. I got a little bit of extra tape, but that's all right. I'm going to peel off probably half of this stuff. Let me get a little burnish on here to make sure that it's good and stuck, because Tyvek is an odd material, and sometimes things don't stick as well as they do to regular cardstock. Okay, here's my dental pick. I shall peel off the top and the bottom and one side. Oops, there we go. Come on here. And if you've worked with double-sided tape before, you know that you have to be careful you don't lift up the whole tape when you're peeling this thing off. And it's hard to tell with Tyvek because it is white what you're peeling and what you aren't. Fortunately, score tape has some blue writing on it, so you can tell to some degree. There we go. Okay, have I got... Yes. Okay, now I'm going to start with the front. So I'm going to peel these two here from the hinges. The front hinges that we had still sticking out with tape on them. Take those off. Okay. Put that right there. I probably need it again. Alright. Make sure that this is like this. And we are going to start by putting this right to the edge of your hinge. Gently, because otherwise you get stuck to your fingers. Okay, you've got it there. Got it where you want it there. Now peel off the other side. And nobody's going to see this part, so really this is not a aesthetic look that you're going for. You're going for strength and stability on the hinges, because we're going to cover them up too. Alright, we have all the tape peeled off. Front of the book is over here already. So get your, there's no tape on the back of these hinges yet, so get them squared up. See what I mean? Get them squared up and open, and then just gently fold this around, not tight. Press on the spine part, like this. Take your bone folder, burnish, burnish the spine, because they're open. See? They're nice and open. Got that. Okay, then this is the back. And obviously we have overhang, but that's fine because we're going to trim it off. Very good. All right. Good job. Okay, we have our hinges held together with this. I'm going to take, I may take the little book. Trim your stuff, trim your excess off is what I'm going to do, since that one's not too excessy. And this does gunk up your scissors a little bit, so at the end of this project, you'll want to clean your scissors with Undo or whatever. Sometimes a stamp cleaner will clean it, but you do have to get the stickiness off, because there's nothing more unpleasant than scissors that are filled with sticky goo. Okay, there's that one cleaned up. Okay. And right here we're going to cut this. Actually, we're going to cut the whole thing, I think. Oh, see how sticky, sticky, sticky. And then, taking care of that side, now we'll do the front side, which isn't much. Alright, my computer's complaining because I forgot to turn it off. Alright, and then that corner. It's all over me. Okay, if you're lucky you didn't get too much stuff on your scissors. Okay, so you have the hinge look like this. Nothing, you don't see it in here. You just see it on the outside. And this is something that you want to, what this thing's sticking out for. Got caught on something. Don't know what, but I'm going to stick it in. Okay. Now, to prevent this white from being shown, we're going to cover it up with what we distressed with. Just the hinge part. And you're going to put a pretty good layer on it because this part will be seen if you look down your book. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Yeah. You can get these at Michael's, a whole pack of them. And they work really good for this kind of thing. And I get these things at Michael's for $1 a piece. And all I use them for is edging. I don't use them for stamping. They're a dye ink. They dry quickly. Okay, I think we've about got this covered up. That way, see, you don't see any white when we put the covers on. All right, there you go. There is step 1 of your spine. Where's my, let me put this back here. And next, you're going to cut the second part of the spine. And you need another piece of either craft cardstock or Tyvek, cut at 6 3/8 lengthwise by 5 inches. 6 3/8 by 5. And this is, let's see, I think these were Wheat Thins cereal box. Very flexible, but good lightweight chipboard. That's perfect for the spine of this book, so it'll bend. Okay, and that's cut at 6 3/8 by 2 1/4. And your friskers will cut this. So just cut it on your friskers. Make sure you have straight edges, because this is going to be the basic spine of your book. And just a cracker box, a cereal box, anything. This is not going to show, but I would put it on the inside. Okay, here's the measurements again. Either another strip of cardstock, craft cardstock or Tyvek, 6 3/8 by 5. And cut this 6 3/8 by 2 1/4. This is going to go like that. And you have to, I'm going to check my instructions, but I think use more tape. Just a minute. I've got this computer here. That's why it's still on. And, apply tape to the chipboard piece. Okay. After you've got this cut, we're going to apply tape to this piece, the chipboard, right here, around in a, ooh, where's my tape end? Blah. Oh, I can't find it. Here it is. Around the edge of this. Okay. Okay. And one strip down the center. Okay, so you have a piece like this with your lightweight cracker box or whatever you use. Okay. And what you're going to do with this, lost my little, that may have been what fell down. Oh no, here it is, a dental pick. Okay. I'll use this side. There we go. We're going to take all this off now. We're going to burnish it a little bit, make sure I got a good stick of the adhesive on the chipboard. Take all of this off that you just put on. And stick it right smack dab in the middle of that piece of Tyvek or extra piece of craft cardstock. Okay. Very good. So you have a piece like this, and you're going to take, I use a glue bottle or a glue stick, a glue bottle or something round, and start creating the fold. You want it to fold. A rounded fold. And if you have to create a little, some little ridges down there, do it. Doesn't matter, it's not going to hurt it, because you do have to get it to fold. Okay, see there? It's not going to break. It's fold up the edges. There you go. Alright, now you're going to put like more tape. Tape, tape, and more tape. About 3 strips of tape on each side. This is the hardest part, I think, of making a book, is getting these, the covers and the spines and everything on. I just wish it would just automatically appear, but they don't. So, of course, you could buy a cardboard book, I suppose, chipboard book already made, or you could use a Zutter, the bind it all thing. I have that. But I prefer to do it like this. I think it looks neater. Not neater, but I don't know. I just prefer to do it like this. Alright, you've got a piece like this. And bend it so it has a nice rounded shape. And once you get like this, then we'll get ready to put on the cover. So, get this far, and we'll continue on the next video. Thank you.